So in the fall, in the monsoon season, our monsoon is just humidity. But we've been getting a lot of rain this spring. So in the rain barrel here, I put the clear pond suggestion of straw. But I also have, I think, some bacterial mats on the top, on the surface of the water, and just below the surface. I don't know if you can distinguish here without me dropping the phone in the water. You can see the surface move, and under the surface is not, and it seems to be more unified under the surface. It seems to be a film on the top. In the past, I've used this tool I made from bamboo and scoop to aerate and mix it up. So I just put it down the side. I pull it up and down to bring what's on the bottom up, what's on the top down. It circulates the water. I've also used aeration. I've used little aquarium pumps to bring in the air. Maybe that would help. This is just a bit too dirty and smelly. Not too much. Too much organic and not enough air. So it's kind of anaerobic. So let's see about that. So these are my air tubes, and they're no longer flexible. I used makeshift weights to hold the air stone down. That's an old hinge. So this is the air pump I got from Keep It Simple in Oregon. It's pretty strong, and I used it to make the compost tea. I had another one smaller, but it went out. This was the next one they recommended. I think there's a date on here, 2003. So it's still pretty good. Let's see what we can bubble up here. We've got some power. And we've got some tubing. So let's see. It's pretty vigorous. Imagine a lot of it's going to bubble out. Yeah, you can smell the anaerobic. Lower it now. The pail I use doesn't have a protection here, so with the water it kind of cuts in. But I have a way to put a piece of small PVC pipe on there and make a little handle. I'm putting this on the wood pot compost. All right, let's try again. It needs air. It's pretty juicy. So I'm going to find a way to fasten this down so it doesn't come out, and put the lid on and let it run for a while. So that'll help keep the end of the tube near the bottom of the barrel. And I'll put the lid on so it'll have a little splash, less splash. Let it aerate, because it's like I said, pretty juicy. It's anaerobic. That's the challenge of grain barrel collections. Anything organic in there, it gets decomposed, and if it doesn't get air, it goes anaerobic. So my whole journey started over here with the kitchen scraps that we feed to the worms. And then the trouble I was having with the fruit flies hastened the harvest of a tray. So this is a tray of worm castings and peat moss and coconut fiber and anything that wasn't decomposed. But I have avocado pits that are growing, so I went to get some water. I went to get some water in the rain barrel, and as I was over there, there were two other trays of potatoes that I had harvested out of the previous bin. Actually, they were in an upper tray, the worm bin, the can of worms, and I harvested those because they were growing and taking up room, and so I brought them out and gave them some water, and now they're kind of dry. So I went to the rain barrel to get the water, because it doesn't have any salt in it like the more hardened water. And so I'm still on the way for water. So this was the pit stop to repair that blue bucket handle, but I don't have the PVC I thought I had handy. So that toolbox goes back on that shelf there. These are hose, like these parts would go in there. So this is the other junction of the roof where the water comes down. So we put in this trash can, and this one isn't so juicy, it's not too bad. Yeah, so I'll put this in and get some water. And water the potatoes. Come back to the potatoes. Gives them some rainwater. It's starting to get warm here, so I put a spray nozzle on there, but the hose leaks, so one thing at a time. I keep some spare pots over here by the now running air pump that will put the avocados in. We've got wood chips from our chipper shredder, but I don't have any bag of potting soil over here. The compost is still 90 degrees, so not quite. These trash cans of compost are scheduled for more worm castings and worms. Maybe I can pull some, probably the next oldest. It's easier to open a bag too. This one's not too bad. It seems like I've got small worms in there. And down below the straw, the compost seems pretty good. I can't see any. I don't know if you can. They're pretty small. About the size of a needle. So much to my surprise and delight, this is really actually heavily populated with worms. So I'm going to take out a bucket of this and make the potting soil out of it. Now, it's not unusual to get interlopers in your mix, so I just toss them to the wall. So it's time to get ready for breakfast. So I'll stop here. I've got some perlite that I'll mix in with some coconut fiber, peat moss, and make some potting soil for those avocados. Not that they'll prosper and give us avocados, but they are nice to watch grow. Rescue them out of the perishing, the life-giving soil. Thank you for listening.